Welcome in, football fans. Your Vegas Nation hosts, Cassie, Soto, and Vinny Bonsignore here. Vinny, outside of the Raiders Henderson headquarters to finally see some sort of football. Vinny, we are now in phase 3 of the Raiders OTAs. We were allowed to watch practice, see some real-life football. Vinny, I mentioned this right before we got on camera here, that just a few weeks ago, a month ago, we were talking about Raiders players saying they were not going to attend OTAs, but the turnout today would prove otherwise.
Yeah, 83 of 89 players that are on the roster were here. That whole vote thing was, it's hard to really classify what exactly that meant, but more than anything, it was out of obligation for their union. But in reality, there was no way that the majority of players across the league, not just here with the Raiders, but across the league, weren't going to be inside buildings getting work done. There's so much money involved. There's winning involved. There's players on various journeys trying to establish themselves in their careers that want to be in buildings and hone their craft and get better, and teams that want to get better. And this team in particular, they haven't done squat, the Raiders, for a while now. They understand that, and they want to get better, and they want to make the playoffs. They want to push through to places they haven't been for a long time, and it behooves them to be in this building getting work in. And that was a sentiment that, in talking to players, that was what they expressed. After that vote, they kind of got together as a team and said, we're coming to work.
Yeah, a lot of guys coming back to work, Vinny, but I think we should mention here some guys that were not on the field were running back Josh Jacobs and defensive end Yannick Ngakoue, just a few notable names there. Any reason to worry, or is it just early? Maybe were they inside the building? What do you think?
I don't think either of those two guys were inside the building, but I would expect them to be back at some point, probably fairly soon. Sometimes, there's scheduling conflicts, there's family obligations, there's things that prevent guys from not being, present a day here or a day there. I'm kind of assuming that might be the case with both of those players. They're both under contract. Josh Jacobs is going into year 3, so there's nothing contractually that he's trying to strive for. And Yannick Ngakoue obviously just signed a contract this offseason with the Raiders, so I don't see any money being any kind of an issue. So I think you'll probably see those guys sooner rather than later.
One guy that was on the field back for his 17th year, I think, in the league now, Vinny. Raiders guard Richie Incognito. We were able to hear from him, hear from some of the other players that just said Richie is such a good leader for this team, especially on an offensive line that got a bit of a facelift. It was, doesn't look the same as last year. What does Richie Incognito being here as a veteran at a voluntary practice mean for this team?
Well, this offensive line, like you said, a facelift. There's 3 new starters: right tackle, center, right guard, that they have to break in, and they have to, get acclimated. So it's important for this offensive line as a group, which only played together 3 snaps last year, the projected starting lineup, that is. So they need to build a foundation right now. And Richie Incognito, when you think about it, he missed 14 games last year. He played 2 games, didn't get through. I think he got through just 1 game of those 2 with the Achilles injury. And there was a noticeable difference in the way that offensive line played last year without Richie Incognito. The guy just brings kind of a nastiness to the offensive line, especially in that run game. And I would expect his presence, along with where they got younger and maybe a little bit more athletic along the offensive line, to show, especially in that run game. And he's the leader of that.
Well, we will be here for the next few weeks, every Wednesday coming up as Phase 3 continues. What can fans expect to see? Actually, let me first say, give the fans at home sort of a feel. I was saying it's kind of like the first day back at school, Vinny, being able to see some football. What was the feel today and moving forward for Phase 3?
Yeah, I think that, just getting a chance to see it, and for the players getting a chance to be out there in this, where you literally have offense working against defense now. That wasn't the case last week or the week before that. It just started this week, where you're able to get out 11 on 11, 7 on 7, 7 on 9s, actual football, competitive football type stuff. And this is all building over these next 4 weeks to a culmination of a 3-day mini camp, which will kind of mimic and replicate what a training camp day is going to look like, because that's what the preparation for. That's what they're setting the stage for, is to get as ready as possible and acclimated as possible for training camp. So these next 4 weeks are really important. It's 6-hour work days. It's not like they're out here 7 days a week. I think it's 4 days per week. So they'll be doing this for the next 4 weeks, culminating with a 3-day mini camp.
Well, we will be here as often as we can, and of course covering the Raiders for you every day at vegasnation.com. Be sure to check out some of Vinny's great content there. For Vinny Bonsignore, I'm Cassie Soto. We'll see you soon.